Yes. Very cool, at least in my opinion. Don't worry, don't fret. If you are here for NBA content, there will be another NBA video posted later tonight because today is in fact a double upload day. Yes. So if you are a fan of NBA, make sure to check back later on tonight for another video that will be uploaded. But if you are a fan of these and want to see, maybe a Star Wars one, a Disney movie one, a food restaurant version one, I think that'd be kind of fun. Make sure you leave it down in the comments, like the video, subscribe to the channel, obviously, on our way to 10K, very close to 10K subs, so I really would appreciate it. And if you are watching this movie, I don't really pick favorites, but you are my favorite for letting me, do other things besides just talking basketball. Talking basketball is fun, but I definitely have a lot of other interests, like Marvel movies. So, with that being said, let's get started. Alrighty. So, if you don't know what a tier ranking or ranker is, it's basically just us going through the Marvel movies and ranking them. And it's just going to be my personal opinion and how I thought about the movie. So obviously, you might be a big fan of Ant-Man and the Wasp, but if I didn't like it, I'd put it D. If I really liked it, I would put it S tier. Doesn't really matter about the, general public's opinion. It's just my own opinion, which, again, my opinion is dumb, stupid. It doesn't matter. It's just for fun, relaxation, entertainment, whatever you get out of this video, I guess. Also, I noticed there isn't Spider-Man Far From Home. Spider-Man Far From Home is not on this list, and that might be the only one, movie-wise, obviously not Disney Plus show-wise, that's not on here yet, so I guess I can throw that in there whenever I'm done with this, but I guess we can just finally get started here. We're just gonna go in order from how they're listed, and up first, like we were just talking about, they have Ant-Man and the Wasp. And if I can be completely honest, I did not like this movie at all. I actually really enjoyed, we'll get onto it with the first Ant-Man movie. This one was very, I don't know, it felt very rushed and not completely finished or something. Something was just very off with this movie, and I didn't really like it. It felt really rushed, and I didn't really enjoy it a whole lot. But up next we have Black Panther. And Black Panther, in my opinion, is a very good Marvel movie. From just the entire Black Panther lore, the story, the environment, the superhero himself, the acting. I think this is definitely one of the best Marvel movies, in the franchise. So, I know when it first came out, it was already, people were claiming it to be the best Marvel movie. I don't know if I'd say that, but in my opinion, it's one of the top tier ones. Definitely made me fall in love with Black Panther even more. That's for sure. Ah, man. Why do they have to do this already in the video? But Captain America Civil War is my first S tier movie, in my opinion. It might be my favorite Marvel movie. In fact, it is my favorite Marvel movie. I loved Civil War in the storyline, and of course the hero versus hero sort of battle scenario with Team Cap and Team Iron Man. Oh my god, that was a lot of fun. Then of course the appearances of Black Panther, Bucky Barnes going back to Cap, and also the appearance of Spider-Man. Super dope, super fun movie. It's, in my opinion, my favorite. It's really cool. Up next we have Captain Marvel, and I would give this a C. It might even be a D tier, but the fact that Captain Marvel is such an important character and superhero in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I think it sort of has to be C. I don't think it was terribly bad. I watched it one time in the movie theater, and that's the only time I ever watched it. And it's good. And it makes sense to the entire MCU. I think the actress who plays Captain Marvel plays her very well. I think they make her very strong and a great character, because obviously, if you know sort of like the comic book lore of Captain Marvel, she is an absolute beast. was so much fun and exciting and sadness, and it was one of those movies where you actually didn't know what was going to happen because, you know, they're not to the T to the comics. It could be completely different, and you didn't know who or what or when or why or something was going to happen. It was so much fun to watch, and I think it's definitely one of the best Marvel movies, and obviously one of the best movies ever made. I think it's the top grossing movie of all time, and it should be because it was really that good. So I still think Civil War is my favorite of all the Marvel movies, but obviously I'm not dumb. I know Endgame was amazing. Next up, we have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. This is the sequel to the original Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, there's obviously no F tier because I don't think any of these movies are bad. Like, I love superhero movies, so I wouldn't say any of these are bad, but on the list of Marvel movies, it'd be one of the bottom feeders of movies I would want to watch. I think just the character of Star-Lord and Chris Pratt really makes the movie that good. Everything else of this movie was very weird. The story was weird. The supervillain was okay. Ego was a cool villain, I guess. Just nothing super crazy. I don't know. I just didn't really enjoy this movie a whole lot, but it was okay. Then we have Avengers Infinity War. My goodness. You know what, for now, I'm going to keep this one in A tier. It could be S. And obviously before Endgame, it was actually one of my favorites, but I feel like Endgame sort of wraps up Infinity War so well that I don't think this, belongs in S tier because basically part 2 is S tier. I don't know if I should put, well, I guess it's part 1 and part 2 technically. Man, I think I'm just gonna leave it here for now. I might move it up later because it's that good. I love the scenes of fighting in Wakanda with, Captain America, Black Panther, when Thor shows up. Oh my god, that part is absolutely insane. One of my favorite, cinematic movie scenes in Marvel ever is that scene when Thor shows up in Wakanda. That's such a cool scene. Yeah. Next up, we have Spider-Man Homecoming, which I actually really enjoy. I don't know. I think Spider-Man movies might be the best standalone movies. They're just so much fun to watch, and I just love the character of Peter Parker / Spider-Man's dad / everyone in the movie is just so good, and I think the Vulture was a really cool villain to have in this one. Not a sort of top tier Spider-Man villain like, Venom or Green Goblin, but a really cool one for sort of Spider-Man to sort of hone his skill in on, obviously, being a young teenager in this movie, was really cool to see. So I think I really enjoyed Spider-Man and just pretty much everything about it. Thor Ragnarok, and this is actually what made Thor my favorite Marvel hero. I love Thor Ragnarok so much. I think it's really great, real fun. It's finally a watchable Thor movie, which we will get into later on in this video. But man, I do think sometimes, and why it's not S, is it's sometimes too cheesy, too funny, too, cracking jokes sometimes. I wish it was a more serious movie at some point in time, but it's good, and if it was better, it would obviously be S tier, but I don't want to put it next to like Civil War, Avengers Endgame, because I don't think it's that good. But in my personal preference, it's really good. Next we have Avengers, the Ultron one. I think it's the Rise of Ultron or something, Age of Ultron, I think is what it's called. I like this one. It's okay. I mean, obviously introducing, Quicksilver, and Wanda is also pretty cool. Vision as well, being a great superhero and sort of a very important one in the MCU. But I don't know. I think this movie was very slow. It's very much a slower paced Marvel movie, which isn't bad, but I don't know. Obviously, when I compare it to the other Avengers movies, it might not be that first Avengers movie, which I sort of put in the same tier as Age of Ultron. It's in my opinion, better. I like, Avengers, the first one, a lot. But again, when comparing to these other movies, I think I'd rather watch these movies than Avengers. And I do think the first Avengers is better than Age of Ultron. But they're very similar, if that makes any sense. They're on the same level. But I like Avengers #1 better. Hopefully that's not too confusing. I think this is Captain America. I think this one is the Winter Soldier, and I think this one is the first one, or vice versa. I can't see. Yeah, I think this one is Winter Soldier, which, if you don't know, is a lot of people's favorite Marvel movie. I think it's really good. In my opinion, it's, besides obviously Captain America: Civil War, the best Captain America standalone movie. Which I don't really count Civil War as a Captain America movie, even though it's Captain America Civil War. I just call it Civil War, or even Avengers Civil War would be a better title. But Captain America: Winter Soldier, introducing one of my favorite characters, Bucky Barnes, which I'm super excited about, the Winter Soldier and Falcon Disney Plus show. I'm so excited for that to start. It's gonna be super cool. So, a lot of people's favorite is Winter Soldier. I think it's really good, but again, just the star power of these two movies, I can't put it up any higher than A, at least in my opinion. Then we have the first Captain America movie, which is a great first movie to a Marvel hero. It is so good. And in my opinion, we'll get on to other ones like Hulk, Iron Man, Thor. It might be, in my opinion, the best one. It's good, it's watchable, even though it's, honestly like 10 plus years old, I think now. It's still, in my opinion, very, very, very easily watchable and digestible. It's not super crazy. I think it's really good. So, I think B is good. Guardians of the Galaxy. This was also one of the movies when they first announced it, I was very, very, very hesitant on, but at the end of the day, it is a good movie. It's very fun, very funny, lots of action, great acting. The special effects in the movie is super cool. I really enjoyed it, and when I first remember going into that movie thinking, man, this movie's gonna be dumb. It's gonna be too crazy, too this, too that, too complex, and it was good. It was really good, and I really enjoyed it. And Chris Pratt as Star-Lord is, again, chef kiss, almost picture perfect of a character, so definitely a nice one. And then we have Hulk, which, guys, I might have to do something pretty tragic. And how do I do this? Let's see, add row below. New row. This is going to be my first F movie, this one. I cannot and have not watched this movie fully in such a long time. I don't enjoy it. It's not fun. It's not enjoyable. There's a lot of action, so if you're just looking for a movie with a bunch of just nonsense action, sure, go for it. But in my opinion, it's not very much worth it. So that is that movie. And then Iron Man 2. This is the one with the introduction of Rhodey, or the War Machine, which is, in my opinion, okay. It's definitely not F tier. I think it's definitely watchable. The new Iron Man suits are cool to see, and everything like that is pretty okay, and I definitely will rank the third Iron Man movie basically in the same tier. They're both okay. If you're a big fan of Marvel, obviously you're gonna watch all of these movies, but if you're not a fan of Marvel or not really interested in the Marvel sort of universe, I recommend not even watching these movies. They're not any good. Again, the coolest parts of these movies are just like the new sort of Iron Man suits that are going on in the movie that he changes through. That's really about it. Then you have the first Iron Man movie, which I like, but again, if you're not a super diehard, a Marvel movie fanatic, it's good. I like it because I'm really into Marvel, and it's sort of like the start of the entire Marvel universe. But again, I could see someone who can see, it's pretty mid. Now, another reason why I created the F tier is because Thor, Dark World, and the first Thor movies are complete snores of movies. I've seen Thor maybe twice. I've seen Thor Dark World one time. I watched it when it first came out. That was it. I did not like the movie whatsoever. Thank God for Thor Ragnarok, otherwise Thor would be a complete wash of a superhero. I think Thor Ragnarok saves the Thor franchise, and I'm very excited for the new Thor movie to come out. I think it's called Love and Thunder. Hopefully that one is a lot more like Thor Ragnarok than the other Thor movies. But yeah, guys, I think that's my list. I'm trying to see, the only things I could think about would be putting Infinity War to S tier. Would be one of my changes, maybe. Other than that, I think my list is pretty set. Again, if you're a big fan of Iron Man, I could see him being higher. A lot of people's favorite Marvel movie is Winter Soldier. That could be higher. I'm just not a big fan of any of these sort of last movies down here. They're mid. Like, if I was showing someone like the Marvel, complete MCU, and we had to skip movies, I would skip these movies. They're just not fun to watch. Obviously, if you're trying to learn the Marvel history, of course you have to watch it because each movie has its own sort of thing, especially obviously Ant-Man and the Wasp, which is like the biggest play for Endgame, but it's not a movie, in my opinion, I would recommend. But everything else, every other movie up here are good movies. You can sit down, you can watch them, and I think they're all good and fun. So thank you guys so much for watching this with me, having a lot of fun. I would love to know your guys' opinions down below, and again, if you want me to do other tier listings of different things, not just basketball related, I will love to do those. Again, I love talking basketball, but you guys who watch these types of videos, my gameplay videos, my other videos, I appreciate you guys on a different level, so thank you guys so much. And yeah, make sure you guys come back later tonight for an NBA video, and I'll see you again in my next video very soon.